G'day, Jared Barn here from Investors Edge Real Estate, Perth Property Management Specialist. Now, one thing I continuously get asked is, should we go with short-term tenants and put up our property on Airbnb, or should we go with longer-term stable tenants? Now, on the face of it, this option over here for Airbnb is pretty sexy. You can get, $300 or $400 a night, maybe $200 a night, and rent it out for 3 nights in the week, and on the face of it you appear to be doing better than the $500 a week that you could get with your stable tenant over here. So a lot of people are just attracted to that extra potential return. Well, what actually happens is this is an intensive type of management needed, and there's very few, if any, property managers that will be able to do that for you. So it could be an option to check out if you're willing to self-manage your property. Now, when you get into that self-management space, it's like having a second job, and you need to put a value on your time and decide if it's worth putting your time in for that. Now, some of the factors that people don't think about is how long is the property going to be vacant for? If you get 2 nights a week at $200 and the rest is vacant for the rest of the 5 days, or if that's how it averages out to be, then you're definitely not making a better return, because every time that tenant turns over, you've often got to factor in cleaning costs, you've got to factor in the cost of your time to come and inspect the property to see if it's been damaged, or factor in someone such as a cleaner and or inspector to do these things. And you're continuously having to manage the check-in, check-out process. The platforms do make it easier now with Airbnb, thankfully, and most of us would have rented a shorter term space through them. It can automate a lot of it for you, but you have to be switched on, you have to be communicating, and you're very much reliant on the ratings that those tenants give. So if you're not keeping it clean, and if you're not communicating well with them, a poor rating will show up quickly and you won't even get found or used. So factor in your returns, factor in your time, and factor in the real cost of vacancy over here. Now, with a long-term tenant, we find a real quality tenant, we put in place a lease for 12 months, and from there we're able to manage them so that you can set and forget the property. The beautiful thing about long-term tenants is the longer that they stay, the better the overall return to you, because you've got lesser vacancy. Every time a tenant moves over, you lose rent. So we want to keep this person as long as possible, and we'll include clauses every 6 months to review the rent upwards in line with the market value, and we're already starting to increase rents on a lot of our longer term tenants. The other great thing is that longer term tenants, if you get the right one, will treat your property really well as if it's their home. Because imagine over here, someone renting a space for a short term, they're often coming in and partying, they're having a ball, they can have a very high wear and tear on the property. The other factor over here is that you need to furnish the property for shorter term and have all those things that someone can use. So that's an extra fit out cost. It can be really risky to do that, spending the 15, 20, sometimes 25 grand to fit out a property properly if you're not sure if the overall returns are going to be there, or if you're going to do it longer term. So often what people do is they might try renting out their home in this fashion in the shorter term, leaving their stuff there. And if that works, then they could look at doing it longer term if they're happy to put the effort and energy in for the return that they're getting. But over here, this is where the vast majority of investors still focus, and it's where you can have steady, stable returns with your property being looked after and less wear and tear. And this is where you can really check out and be more of a passive investor, which is what most people want when they're so busy in their worlds these days. So weigh the two up. Let me know if you've got any questions. Happy to help.